Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs, joined alongside Ringwalk Danny, and we're coming to you live from the Wynn Casino out of the Blue Wire studio, and we have some breaking news. Yesterday, Top Rank and Frank Warren Promotions announced the unified title defense of Artur Beterbiev, who's going to be taking on what they're calling Knockout King Anthony Yarde. Danny, what's up? How are you?
What up, champ? Back with another one. Definitely excited. Big guest in studio today, and yeah, champ.
Absolutely, man.
You said they're calling him the Knockout King?
Absolutely. Press release says unified light heavyweight king Artur Beterbiev to defend crown against Knockout King Anthony Yarde at the OVO. I didn't know that existed in Wembley. Is that a Drake thing?
I don't know.
Did he pay for the name of the arena?
He could have.
Wow.
That'd be pretty dope. But
so us as Americans, we get to watch it on ESPN Plus right here in the U.S. It will be shown on BT Sports in the U.K. And Anthony Yarde is the #1 contender, so he's getting his shot at 3 belts. The exact opposite of what Danny said this morning. Go figure.
What?
What? You said there's a misconception that when there is 3 belts, just because you're the mandatory don't mean you get a shot at all of them. Meanwhile, this guy's defending all 3.
Okay.
But Yarde is only entitled to the WBO.
No, I mean,
he's the mandatory to the WBO.
Yeah, that's how he's getting in. I'm just saying, if a sanctioning body doesn't rank you, or, for example, this is actually the perfect example. If Yarde, right, he's coming in through the BO.
Yep.
But my man's got the BC, right?
Yep.
So if Yarde is not enrolled in the clean boxing program, he is not eligible to win the BC on the night.
Yeah, I know. But that's just a technicality. That's not, it won't be the same for the IBF. You know, that's just one loophole, and it's also just an application. Being as though we both were at the convention, we know all he literally has to do is file, and he'll be awarded his belt. But, you know, I'm not trying to make it a long-term argument, just showing you that a mandatory can absolutely get a shot at 3 belts.
No, they typically do. I'm saying it is on a rarity, but it absolutely can totally happen.
Well, look, I'm not only rubbing it into you. It's Nonito Donaire as well.
A sanctioning body, you know, feels that that fighter is not of maybe rank, you know, the caliber to be ranked. They don't have to.
I mean, I just find it hard for any sanctioning body after I beat Beterbiev for the WC say, oh, well, you weren't ranked, even though you just beat our champ. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, none of that is logical, but it is what it is. You know, we'll find out what Yarde has. I am shocked that he's been able to get this opportunity. It came very quickly after, you know, already having a shot at at Sergey Kovalev. So this was pretty, you know, and he continues to get big shots. Every time he goes for a title defenses versus a big name for good money. Last I remember, he made about $4 million to fight Sergey Kovalev, who, you know, was an older champion. And now here he is again facing another guy that is an older champion. I think Beterbiev is about 37 to 39 years old.
He's 37.
All right. I mean, would you rather fight the 27 or the 37? Yes, I get it. Ness, this guy has power. 100% knockout ratio. Power's the last thing to go. Check those boxes, absolutely, but he's still 37.
No, I'm totally.
He can get freaking over 40 overnight in a fight.
I totally hear you. To me, it's just the fact that Yarde has been stopped before. We've seen him lose. You know, so not just by knockout, but by decision as well. So I don't know, man. I'm definitely excited because I think their styles will bring a high volume and hard hitting fight, but I think ultimately Beterbiev stops him, I'd say mid rounds.
Yeah, and this is, credit to Frank Warren and his relationship with the WBO, because since losing to Sergey Kovalev, Yarde's biggest name is Lyndon Arthur, which he lost to
by split decision. So.
And he had to come back and defeat by knockout in the 4th round. And this is earning him a 3-belt opportunity. So shout out Frank Warren and the team, man. Impressive. Unlike
Beterbiev, who's been, fighting
champion after champion,
tough fights his last several fights.
So. Yep. So this fight is promoted by Frank Warren and Queensberry Promotion in associations with Top Rank. It will be shown on ESPN here in the U.S. BT will be streaming it in the UK. Tickets for Beterbiev Yarde go on sale Saturday, January 28th. That's a long time from now, being as though, this fight is what? Okay. What?
When's the fight?
Make sense. Wait, tickets for Beterbiev Yarde on Saturday, general sale. Okay, at the 24th of November, which is 2 days from now.
Okay.
2 days from now. Tank tickets are already on sale, and they're doing well. If you go to Ticketmaster, there's already a whole bunch of tickets purchased. Yep, someone sent me the chart. But you can get these tickets for Beterbiev Yarde on axs.com or ticketmaster.co.uk. And Frank Warren had this to say: "This will undoubtedly be the biggest challenge of Anthony's career till date, and we have made sure he will get the best conditions possible by securing him home advantage," said Yarde's promoter, obviously Frank Warren. "It's going to be a huge occasion at the OVO Arena in Wembley, which is the same venue where Anthony made his professional debut back in May of 2015. So shout out to Yarde, man. 7 years pro and already 2 title shots. One of those unified. Well, I guess 8, because he'll be on the 2023 by the time. And, yeah, that's still good, man. Frank Warren doing his thing.
Absolutely.
I mean, we just had Denzel Bentley, who's promoted by Warren, who said that. Like, I go back home, I'm getting back on TV.
Hell yeah.
What's the date for the fight?
Yeah.
The 28th of January.
Okay. So same day as Charlo Zoo.
Yep. 28th of January.
So we have 2 competing cards like 2 months from now.
Well, not really competing, because this will come on definitely earlier than Charlo Zoo. Charlo Zoo will cater to us Americans. This will cater more to Yarde's demographic in the UK. We'll probably get it slightly early, 4, maybe 6-ish. Probably?
Nah, probably earlier than that.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So I did want to see if I can give you, okay. He said, "I've never backed down from a challenge, and Anthony Yarde is a top contender who asked for this fight. I look forward to fighting in London for the first time since the Olympics. Yarde called me slow after my fight with Joe Smith Jr., but slow and steady wins the race. And on January 28th, I will win in London." What's your thoughts on Yarde thinking Beterbiev is slow? I mean, he really did a number on Joe Smith, slow or not.
Who did a number on Joe Smith?
Beterbiev.
Yeah, but Beterbiev's the one that said that Yarde is slow, right?
No, Yarde is the one that said that Beterbiev is slow after the Joe Smith fight.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He's knocked out everybody he's fucking fought, so I'd assume if he's slow, those 18 guys would have been able to get out the way.
Very true, man.
You feel
Very
me?
true.
Like, can't be that slow if I'm able to knock every guy I'm in there with. But we'll ask somebody who's used to getting knockouts. Who we got in studio today, Nuss?
Before we get to that, I just want to round up with obviously Yarde's quote that says, January 28th will be my night, my destiny playing out in my home city, and this is what I have been longing for throughout my professional career, which started at Wembley. I won't make any big predictions for this fight against a strong, unified champion in Artur Beterbiev. But what I will say is that I will leave nothing to chance, and I am at my best when I fight fire with fire, which led us to the thumbnail, which is coming out slugging. And that's what Yarde thinks is the best option to face the big puncher. We have seen Beterbiev down twice in his career, and it has been early. Do you think that's the best plan to get the job done if you're Yarde?
I don't know if I want to trade with him, but I definitely think I can't show him any respect. You know, I think he's going to have to come in there, try to get his off and get the fuck out the way of those deep and slow punches, right? Because I don't care what he says, Beterbiev, he put them motherfuckers down. He put them out. And
Kovalev hurt him with a jab. So imagine Beterbiev. It's going to get ugly.
I think fighting a guy like that, you can't show him respect, but you definitely, you definitely have to be aware that he has put everybody out.
Now, speaking of putting everybody out, we do have another fighter in studio that has put everybody out in his professional career. You want to introduce him, champ, and have our team bring him in and cut to the promo. Our good friend Cardin from Kenichi Beer and his amazing headsets over at Hibernation 5 while we bring in our first guest, Austin Slive. What up, what up? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're joined with Ashton Silve here, H2O. Happy to have you in studio. And I'm going to jump right into it. We were playing our promo. He happens to sponsor the show, but you use his headphones. So how'd the connection between you and Kenichi Bear come about?
I think my dad knew of them before me. But now I love the headphones. I use them when I play the game. Like, I love, like, if I'm not boxing, I'm just at the crib, just, relaxing, playing the game, or just running on, on the treadmill, listening to music. So, they did a great job with that.
For sure, for sure. Man, I got so many different questions, so I don't want to hog you. Is there anything you want to jump into before? Because, he brings so much to the table.
I'll let you start it off because...
Okay, cool. So before I get into, I guess what everybody knows, which is the biggest thing, that you've been signed to MVP Promotions and Jake Paul, and it's giving you all this exposure. Upon some research, you were signed to someone else or associated with someone else that's just made a major splash, right? Because I've seen that you were posted on Black Prime 3 years ago. So we don't know shit about Black Prime. So we need you guys to tell us everything that happened back in 2019. Look at his face. I told you I had some shit. What's up? So how'd that come about? Are you still with them? What was that?
You want to tell? I mean, they cool people. They cool people. Yeah, we did some stuff with them. I don't think we was ever signed with them. I never signed anything, but yeah, we was working with them. And my dad he communicate with them like on a daily basis still till now.
So did they get you fights?
Well, that's when he was starting off his career. So he was only 16 years old. They was trying to break into the boxing business. They didn't do anything at that time. They came, got some footage. We grew the relationship. But they were learning the boxing business at that time. I think that was 3 years ago. They was learning the boxing business. And at that time, they really couldn't offer what we wanted. But like I said, Desmond, good people. So we kept that relationship open. And it's not far-fetched to say that we won't work with them again. But I see that they're doing big moves. I've talked to him. I talked to Desmond last night. I talked to him like probably every week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. We grew a friendship.
Every week, though.
Yeah, about once a week. Yeah.
I mean, how many fights left on his MVP contract? That seems to be a lot of talking.
Well, we talk personal. Like I said, we grew a friendship. So we talk personal business. He always check on Ashton. So it grew outside of boxing.
So as far as you are concerned, Crawford is in good hands?
As far as I'm concerned, Crawford's in good hands.
Okay. That's good.
I don't know the details of their contract, So.
No, of course. I mean, but because some people want to speculate the fight's not going to happen because the app hasn't had any experience doing big-time promotions.
Right. But one thing I can say, Desmond uses all his resources he has more resources in the boxing business now than he did when he approached us. He had none at all. So the last 3 years, he's been biting, grinding, trying to get things done, finding out more about the business. So I think he's in good hands. For what I've noticed, it's the only fight that they have.
And I think he threw a few fights. I think it was about two.
I've seen a few. I mean, they've had a few fights. They just weren't on this level.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a huge level.
This has been a huge step up. Like they were doing bubble shows.
Yeah.
Right.
Not even club shows. It was like, during COVID, just a studio setup.
Yeah, something, I don't know, this little street fighting thing.
They did something with street beefs, yes.
Yeah, street beefs.
I forget the guy's name, the Hispanic one. You remember?
Nah, I remember the welterweight, Brian Norman.
Okay. He fought on there?
Yeah, he fought on
Oh,
there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. How did that go?
I'm gonna be honest, I ain't see the fight on there, but they had his picture on it, so I'm like, all right, he had his last fight on there, so that Champ, yeah, I didn't think that. I didn't know about the Black Prime and didn't think that's where you were gonna get started. I wanted to ask you about Anthony Taylor. You guys friends?
Yeah. I knew him for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean,
he's funny.
To me, it seemed like y'all friends. You rocking out with him.
Yeah,
you rocking out with him. Take us back. What happened? Why Dylan Dennis out here acting crazy and starting street fights and shit like that? First he throwing coffee or what he throw on KSI's face? Was that coffee?
I don't know. I just know Anthony got into it.
No questions asked.
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. That video that shit definitely went viral. I know your phone was blowing up. You get a call from management like, yo, chill out. Or no repercussion, no calls, no anything like that.
From me, yeah, of course, but I mean that's like almost family, like that's a close friend. So
absolutely,
it just kind of happened right there.
Was there like pre-existing beef? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, even though I watch some MMA, I I only know Dylan Dennis from like getting into it with people. I don't really know him.
Yeah, I saw like before I even know. That's what I know him for. Just like in people comments, just talking mess. Like
Right.
Like if I'm scrolling past like Instagram, I just see like him being like the top one talking mess. So that's the only thing I know from him. I never saw like a fight from him.
So was there pre-existing beef between Dylan and Anthony?
Possibly.
Okay.
Like, yeah, possibly. I'm not too sure. Maybe not, because I don't think Dylan probably knew of Anthony, but
It was after that. Yo, he got rocked twice. That shit was
Speaking of Anthony, that's who's calling right now.
he watching the show. He probably watching the show. But yo, also the last fight though, I really was impressed. Good friend of ours did your fight outfit. Where did the inspiration come from?
first off, it started from me just like liking the movie. Like I feel like I watch it like at least 5 times throughout the year just because. But then like watching it over and over, it's more like I started getting like inspiration. I think that's why I keep watching it. And like the inspiration came from like like the minions are the ones you would never think of them to do anything like what they did. Like you would just expect probably like Gru or somebody to do something.
Mm-hmm.
With the the big missions or whatever. But at the end of the day, the minions come in clutch. So I feel like that's like me in a way.
Yo, that was pretty tight. I saw him working on it, and he said he wouldn't reveal who it was.
Yeah, he never does.
Yeah, he wouldn't reveal who it was, and then when I saw you walk out with it, I thought that was pretty tight. Definitely, a first on that.
For sure. I was more impressed with the opponent. Obviously, common opponent with Ryan Garcia. Took Ryan Garcia, I believe, 5 rounds. You did it in 1. Did you consider it a step up? And what did you think of the performance? Was it not enough rounds? Would you had hoped to get more, or were you happy not to do any overtime?
No, I definitely consider it a step up. I feel like every fight that they that they put in front of me was a step up since my first fight. And I was amazed. Well, not amazed. I kind of felt it coming. Like throughout training camp, like we just kind of pretty much worked hard for it. Like I feel like this is probably one of the hardest training camps I had. And the knockout, that was like after what he said in the back when Ariel came to the back and told me that Braulio was like he wants to little bro me or something like that. So after that, I got like built some steam up in me. So like I kind of felt it like it was going early knockout.
So you like you're like some fighters who like to find something to get mad at,
Yeah.
or some athletes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because like the whole time, like even the face off, like even if they don't do nothing, I kind of just get mad off that. Like they looking at me too long. That's why I just like I'm like that just makes me mad. Like you want to look at me for this long, then I just like
Absolutely.
Sure.
Now, obviously, we talk about it all the time. When you got a guy like Braulio who has fought somebody like Ryan, now that's that barometer stick, right? It happened to Keith.
Yeah.
It happened to Keith because he fought Mario Barrios right after he had fought Tank, and there was talks of Tank moving up to welterweight to fight Keith, and it was like, shit, he stopped him, you didn't.
Yeah.
Was there any concern, or was that in the back of your mind, knowing that people are gonna talk about who did it better, me or Ryan?
Yeah, I definitely figured that because like even when they posted or announced that I was fighting him, like nothing but like in the comments I was getting like that's Ryan's opponent. But like I feel like a lot of people believed that I was gonna do a more efficient job than he did, and I mean it came out to be that. So I more so figured myself that even if it went to distance, that I would have put on a greater performance. But like it was never in my mind to like think of just Ryan. It was more so of just like what I want to do and what my team would think of it.
Absolutely.
Was there other opponents on the table when Braulio's name was brought to you, Coach?
No, that they gave us an opponent. We took it right away. So we didn't turn down anything. As soon as they put it on the table, we took it.
Yeah, I was supposed to fight him on the MSG card when we were supposed to when I fell out, and then we just kept the same opponent until then. So we both had like a long training camp.
At this point, being 8-0, how often are you looking to fight? I mean, you got 3 fights in this year. Is that about right? Where you guys want to be right now?
We want to be about 4 fights a year, like once every quarter.
Okay. You guys got a date yet?
We're looking at February.
Okay. No location, nothing
No
like
location,
that. Nothing like that.
In your last fight, you did say that you wanted a bigger test after blowing out, obviously, Rodriguez. What sort of test you looking for? Is there a name?
No, it's not a name. I honestly just like let my coaches or my team bring the opponents to the table, but like I just feel like I want a bigger test because I feel like each fight, and if I run through them, like it just makes me feel a certain type of way. Like I'm like, okay, like I'm ready for this, and I feel like I'm on that on a different stage.
Think
Dad, I was gonna say, Dad, what about you? Is there a certain somebody that you would like to see him in with next? Being as though that he's asking for bigger tests?
Yeah. Well, it's not a certain somebody. I mean, he want to step it up. We definitely gonna step it up a little bit. But once again, he's only 18 years old. He got the world at his hand. He's super talented, but he still got to grow with his body. He's still, like I said, he's 18 years old. He hasn't even came into his man strength yet. But we're definitely gonna test him again. He wants to get tested, but we're not gonna jump all the way into the big leagues. We're gonna gradually grow him and get him there.
So, and is the promoter okay with something like that? Because obviously, a guy like Devin Haney did that in Mexico where you can control that, but obviously his contemporaries just seen what he did to Braulio. So I assume it's going to be harder to get him opponents now unless he continues to fight the Braulios or above. It's like,
yeah, that's what definitely where we're going. We're not going down. We're definitely either Braulio level, a little bit above it. Definitely going to do that. We can't go down, and that's one thing that I told him. Once we go up, there's no turning back. You can't go down. We can't go from Braulio to a guy that's 9-20. So of course, everybody's okay with it, and we all on the same page. Is basically what we want to do. Well, we have a vision for his career. So, yeah.
Although nobody gets paid overtime, is there a point where you're like, all right, we got to give him some rounds because
I thought this was gonna be it. To be honest, myself, I didn't think he was gonna take him out the first round. I actually thought he was. I want him to get more rounds. I want him to get more experience. I wanted it to go at least 7 rounds.
Ashton like, hell no, for what?
Trying to get him up out of there.
For what? But so that being said, given that you are getting these first round knockouts and getting them out of there quick, do you guys feel that you're getting the rounds in the gym? Because like something has to make up for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to get your experience. Yeah, you 8 fights in, but you got 8 rounds experience. Like you got to get your experience, and you guys feel like you're getting that in sparring?
We definitely getting that in sparring. We definitely getting that.
You're training in Cali?
Yes, Long Beach, California, Jackrabbit Boxing.
Long Beach, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that your own gym or is that?
Yeah, that's our gym.
Okay. What made you guys open the? I mean, obviously you're fighting, but like most fighters would just go use somebody else's gym. What made you guys open your own?
We was actually training at that gym. It was called Long Beach Boxing and Fitness. It was an old rundown gym when we was in there, and the owner at that time couldn't keep up with the bills, so he was going to close down the gym, and we was going to move on to another gym. But long story short, I was in there helping out my son. As I'm helping out my son, I was helping out other boxers, just being me. So when we was going to just move down the street to another gym, I got a call from one of the boxers. He was like, hey, why don't you take over the gym? I never wanted to take over a gym. So I'm like, nah, I don't see no money in that gym. It's raggedy. It's ran down. No, I'm not doing it. And so he was like, all right, okay. But what about us? I never thought about that. I'm like, oh, shoot. So I said, I'm going to call you back tomorrow. And that question was buzzing in my head all night because he said, what about us? I never thought that I was carrying anybody but my son. So I started thinking about, dang, I did. I'm taking these guys everywhere. They are looking, at me. If it wasn't for me, they'd be out on the streets. So I was like, dang, if I let it close down, they'll be back to gang banging, back to hustling. Little kid Sincere just was wandering around the street. So, that hit my heart. So I end up, fleshing out my savings, agreeing to take over, paying the back rent. And I said, if I'm going to take over this gym, it's got to be profitable. So rebranded it, called it Jackrabbit Boxing, gutted out everything, changed it all up, and that's where we are today.
Has it obviously turned over? Has it been profitable? Has it been worth it?
It's paying for itself, so it's been worth it.
That's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
And it gives your son a place to have a home.
There you go.
Yo, it's crazy what comes with having a gym.
What comes with having a gym?
No, I'm just saying.
The responsibilities.
Yeah, the responsibilities and sometimes the headaches.
Yes.
The drama.
So Pops and Ashton, obviously Jason Velez just got knocked out by my man, what is it, Tito Mercado? But that's a decent name. Or is that not like the route? Like someone coming off a knockout is not the look.
Yeah, I mean, that is a decent name. But at the same time, like you just said, someone coming off a knockout, we don't want to, I think I seen the highlights of that. And he didn't even look like he was a worthy opponent after the knockout. I think he's like at the end of his career. So after a knockout like Tito did to him, I don't think we want to pick on Velez. But that would have been a good opponent. So we want a guy that's got a little steam, coming off a little steam to test him, but not after a knockout like that.
Somebody be able to provide a little resistance.
Yeah.
So how the MVP deal come about? Because I'm sure there were more than just Jake Paul after your son, no?
Yeah. You want to?
Well, really, Jake called him. Like, I was nowhere around. But I know I was supposed to be fighting. They wanted me on the card with, I think, the Willie 2, Paul and Willie 2. But there was debating on whether it was going to be in Texas or Ohio. And I was a 17 and a half at the time. So, I was allowed to fight in Texas or, certain states. But then, they end up, going with Ohio. So I was not able to fight on the card. And so we just kept going. And then I think I fought in February this year. I fought in February this year in Pomona, California. Nakisa came down and watched me fight, and I put on a great performance, crazy knockout. And then after that, I think a week later, Jake ended up calling my dad, like a random call, just called my dad, and where their conversation went from, it went good. He was just complimented me, telling me he wanted to work with me and my team and stuff. And I think probably a week or two later, we got on a Zoom call to, just feel each other vibes out, me and Jake. And it was great right there. Then I think a week later, we went to Puerto Rico just to hang out with him. So it was really, at the beginning, it was just like a bonding type of thing. I don't think we signed anything. No, we haven't signed nothing yet. We were just, bonding, seeing how everything goes, I feel like that was one of the best things, too, to just, actually, like have a connection with your promoter than, just signing with them, hoping, and, not knowing nothing really about them and just going about your day. So I feel like me going out there and just taking my time and bonding with Jake and his team. And I know a few people like Jalen Love, like I, knew Jalen since I started boxing. So since there, I think after that, we all made a decision, like, our whole team is great. They have the same vision as we do, and we just went from there. And after that, we just started, planning on fights. And Jake talked about what should I do, like what he advised me to do, like how can you help me out and stuff like that. And we just kind of talked back and forth a bit, and we just kind of here today.
How many followers have you gained since your
signing with Jake? I think like 500,000. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so.
Whoa.
I think I started like 106, and then signing with him. I don't think it was just the signing part, because I think I only gained probably like 20,000 just from signing. But I think, but he even said so too. Like, he's kind of like a marketing genius himself. He was like, like of course they see that that he picked a great prospect, but what really matters is like kind of like them actually seeing me what I'm able to do inside the ring, and that would draw more eyes. So like the announcement, everything started building up. Then after the fight, I feel like it just kind of everything went, the stock went way up.
Dad, and how was it for you? And is the mom involved? Who did you confide in? Because obviously Jake Paul is this 24-year-old influencer. He's new to boxing, no boxing background. But, some of us believe he could be the savior. Others believe he is a circus act, They don't respect him in general. I respect his business,
Right.
But how did you come to respect it? Were you quick to make the decision? Who did you confide in? How was that for you? Because, again, this guy's 24 years old.
Right. So I only talk to my son,
Okay.
So it's basically, I give him what I feel, I hear what he has to say. But, like, he had a lot of different offers. And our biggest
Are
thing,
you okay with telling us the other companies?
we're going to leave that out. But our biggest thing was we had a vision ourselves that we wanted to do. He has his own H2O promotions. He started, and we had a vision itself. So when we talked to Jake, his vision was like coincide with what we was already planning to do. And so
In what way?
as far as, the pay, fighters getting paid properly, far as everything that Jake speak on, far as getting these these talented prospects more light, far as marketing. I had a problem, well, not a problem, where I looked at it. We started marketing Ashton since he was 8 years old, building his brand. And that's because when I looked over the landscape, I seen no promotion company really market their fighters. They don't really push them. They get them fights, but they don't push them outside of boxing.
Right.
So Jake was speaking on that with his promotion company. So everything basically aligned. And to top everything off, Ashton's the boss. It's not like Jake is the boss. They're basically partners. I like to say they just signed an agreement. He didn't sign to him. It's more of an agreement. So it's nothing that he's gonna make Ashton do, and he's gonna hold him back from doing. So that was one of the biggest reasons that we signed. It was like anything that he wants that he already had set in place. Jake and Nakisha is just gonna help that come to light. It's not like we have our own separate path for you. This is what we want to do. This is who we want you to fight. So that was like the deciding factor.
But that sounds like you want to still be actively trying to find your son opportunities.
Meaning?
Because you're saying it's not what the path the MVP wants, and instead it could be what Ashton wants. It sounds like if it's something that he wants, you guys came together on that. You are looking for that, right? So it wouldn't be what the promoter wants.
Well, it's like I said, we're all a team now. It's not they're calling the shots on Ashton. We're all a team. So we now I'm saying before that, I confide in Ashton. Now it's a team effort. Now we all talk. It's not like we doing everything that we want to do by ourselves. Like they'll come to the table. How about we do this? So we all talk.
Right.
It's not they're not basically, for lack of a better term, bossing him around.
For sure. Does this situation mean that he is not bound to a broadcaster? Because we know that Jake Paul is signed to Showtime, but Ashton is signed to MVP, right? Not Showtime, meaning your February fight can be hypothetically DAZN or
Wherever, yes.
PBC or Top Rank.
Yes, he's not bound to a broadcaster.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, and
was that something specific you wanted, or was that just something that naturally came about and you're okay with it?
That's something specifically I wanted, because I see the landscape and, they talk about you're on the other side of the street, so we can't fight. So, if we're not bound to anything, we could go PBC. We could fight anybody. We could fight fighters on PBC, Top Rank, DAZN, Showtime.
Funny you say that. Because of Jake's affiliation with Showtime, there's a lot of PBC rumored dates in February.
Is that right?
I mean, we just had a morning show about Earl and Thurman, possibly February.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No?
Hey, that's a good card.
We had Mario Barrios in this studio. He said February.
Okay.
No? No calls for undercard of Barrios?
No calls.
All right.
Some,
checking.
Something about February.
It's
Yo,
something about
and it's
February.
crazy because February is already kind of like busy in sports, so it's interesting.
Yeah.
See what
So for you, how was it? I mean, were you like right away like, man, I know how big Jake is. I want to make this move, or did you need that time with him? I know you've already touched on it.
Yeah.
But do you think now looking back, you really needed that time to bond with him? Or when he called you, is your answer still the same? Was it still yes then, and then you just knew for sure it was yes after the weekend or the time you spent in Puerto Rico?
No, I definitely knew I needed the time to just bonding, because like my dad said, we got offered some different promoters and companies, and I mean, we just sat back and just kind of let things kind of go how it was, and just it didn't play out the way we thought it would have. So like as the years went by, I think it started off at like 15 and a half, and I was looking into signing with somebody. That's when we started to just like I said, just waited for the bonding and the connection with different promoters, and see what they have to say. And so when Jake came about, I kind of figured like it was gonna be differently than other promoters, just because like who he is and what he wants to bring to the table. Like just from hearing outside of from just speaking to him face to face, like you said, he just wanted to bring the marketing in a different way. Just business wise, like bring in the funds differently than other fighters getting paid. So like it was already kind of thinking back of my mind, like, okay, and then he only signed one other fighter. So if I was like the second fighter to be signed, like his focus would be on really just us three or his team. It was just me, him, and Amanda. So like,
and that's not bad company to be with, let me tell you.
Yeah, and do you feel like that? Do you feel because it's only two fighters on the roster, you are priority? Are you feeling like you're priority?
No, definitely, yeah.
That's great, man. That's amazing.
I wanted to ask, well, I guess technically the both of you guys, whose decision was it to turn pro in TJ?
Well, me. I wanted to turn pro when I was 15. Like I was pretty much kind of done with the amateurs. I just didn't want to.
How many amateur fights?
Like 120.
And what caused you to be done?
Like just after fighting so many times in the nationals, like if I was going overseas, like continuously, then I would probably been cool with it. But we was waiting like one time a year to go overseas, and like the competition in the nationals, like I was pretty much ranked number one in my weight class for a few years. So I felt like it was at the point no more competition. And then like I was just like thinking in the future wise, like if I'm just just fighting as an amateur and went into the Olympics. I think at that time, I think they didn't know whether if they wanted the Olympics to be I think 2020 or like 2022, like it was like juggling. They didn't know for sure. So and I was thinking my age, I was like I'll be like 20 years old, 22. So it would have been just all, I just felt like it was just, I was going to be just waiting for like almost no reason.
Dad, why TJ? Did you guys try to, because I'm sure there's some states like a Mississippi, a North Carolina, you feel me, that would have licensed you up?
Yeah. TJ's close to us.
Okay.
It's only 2 hours away from us. Like he said,
Economical.
Right. He wanted to turn pro at 15. I held him back till he was 16. But like you said, it's economical. It's close to us. Even when we turn pro, if you look at his box rec, even though they don't have the first guy on there, like we wasn't picking bums. You could look at the fights on YouTube.
there's still a fight that's not on your box record, so you're really 9-0.
Yeah,
And Jake can't get that fixed.
no. I mean, it's up to it's on Fight Facts, but it's been a problem with BoxRec. BoxRec, well, that's a whole nother conversation.
But that's what I'm saying. With Jake
It's
and his
got-
connections,
he
need to post like, yo, they jacking my fighter for a whole win and a knockout.
It's going.
Embarrass they ass.
Right. I mean, when he speaks on it, he says 9-0. He speaks correctly. But
Okay, shout out to Jake.
Some of these fighters, it was a favor for them because they got upset. I'm not gonna call no names, but they got upset in Mexico, and it's not on their record. So they're walking around X and O. But I've seen with my eyes that they lost the fight.
Oh, yeah.
But once again, back to Ashton. We went to Mexico because it's closer. Good opponents. Also, we wasn't picking any walkovers because I wanted to know that he was ready for the pros. So everybody that we picked, it was a seasoned guy. Beginning, it was guys with winning records. The first guy that he fought was a guy that was 3-1, 20 years old, 3-1 with 3 knockouts. It's on the internet, but dropped him out 5 times and got him out of there the 4th round.
So when was that? So you're saying the very first one is the one that's not on
The
boxing.
very first one is the one that's not on boxing.
He didn't turn pro in October. When did he turn pro?
Was
It was
it
like
August?
Yeah.
Okay.
August.
But that's the TJ commission?
That was the TJ commission.
Man.
During the pandemic, they had a beef, like Rosarito, Tijuana, and BoxRec. They had a little beef, and the COVID happened, and they took the fights to Rosarito. It was the same commission, but BoxRec didn't want to recognize it for whatever reason. I don't know.
I want my fight.
Man.
Right.
So,
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of weird shit. Good.
Damn, I wish I would have known that. We was just in the convention and there was the BoxRec representative, man.
Oh,
And from
man,
TJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, from that specific
Mauricio
area.
Suleiman was trying to help us get it, and they told him no.
What?
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. You probably not getting that then.
Yeah, man, I don't know what to tell you. You shit out of luck.
Damn, they said no to Mauricio. All right, so somebody wasn't paying attention here. I got a question from the people. Brandon in Houston says, you signed to Black Prime 3 years ago. How was that experience? And when you saw they emerged in partnership with Crawford, what were your thoughts? I guess you didn't answer that second part. So when you seen Black Prime all of a sudden is got Crawford Avanesian for $10 million, what were your thoughts to both of you?
it was crazy because I think I saw it before my dad. Like I probably like when he posted it, I think it was like 3 minutes in. And I looked and I was like, it was BOK Prime. And the first thing I thought was, my people's. So I was just looking into it, and I looked on their page on BOK Prime, and they didn't post it. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's just another company with the same name. And I guess when I overheard my dad talking about it, I was like, okay, that's cool. Like that they in that world, and it's on a big fight too. Like that's dope to see.
Dad, did you know before the announcement?
I know before that. Hey, I promised him not to say nothing, so I didn't even tell Ashton. I didn't say nothing to nobody. I didn't want it to get out. Yeah.
That's crazy. So were you shocked, I guess, whenever you found out initially?
Yeah. I was shocked when he told me the name. I was blown away.
But I'm sure in your conversation he didn't tell you the money. You heard that with the news.
Right.
So what was that reaction for you to find out that this company you were dealing with once upon a time can now pay Crawford $10 million, plus the opponent is running around saying he got paid very well. We don't know his number, but we heard it's very well, and that they've already deposited, like, I think half of that.
Yeah, it's in escrow.
Yeah.
I was happy for him. I actually was happy for him. It was nothing selfish, no selfish thoughts. I was actually happy for him. I was happy for Crawford. I don't count other people's pockets.
We got New York Bullet that says, what's good, champ? Who were some of the legendary fighters that inspired you? Blessings.
I grew up watching Floyd. So before I started boxing, I always used to want to be a basketball, football player. So when I got introduced to boxing, it was the first person I like really that stood out to me was Floyd Mayweather. So just watching him growing up, I think I always watched his fights until he retired, and still now, like when he had the Dubai event. But I watched him growing up, but throughout time, I started to, watch other fighters and started to put some of their style into mine.
Who are some of the fighters that are currently fighting that you like to watch?
All right. So I was Javante.
Have you sparred him?
No, I was Javante. I like a bit of Ryan style. What was it? Devin Haney. I like some of the stuff he does. Crawford, Errol Spence, Canelo.
You haven't sparred none of these guys.
No.
Dad, do you only do in-house sparring? You don't take them out?
No. We sparred a lot of people. It's funny that he haven't sparred them names, but we sparred a lot of people. The opportunities just haven't came about. Ryan's a good friend. It just haven't came about. We never even seen Tank. We've never seen him in the gym. He likes Tank, but we never seen him.
How far is Buddy McGirt gym from you guys? Long Beach?
I've been trying to get sparring at Buddy.
Because
we've been trying to get sparring.
That's where Tank was at once upon a time.
Yeah, but I've been trying to get sparring at Buddy McGirt's gym. But it's about
with Blue Nose?
With whoever you have. When I call
Blue Nose would be a good sparring partner for you.
Yeah, I heard that.
He get hit a lot, but he put that pressure on.
He put Valdez on his ass.
Yeah.
But sat his ass down.
Yeah, but he sparred Sean Porter since we're in Vegas.
Yeah.
He sparred Sean Porter. He sparred Leo Santa Cruz. I mean, the list go on and on. He sparred a lot of.
How long you guys in town?
We leave tonight.
Oh,
we leave tonight.
Damn.
Yeah, 7 o'clock tonight we leave. But yeah, he sparred a lot of guys. He been sparring pros since he was 12 years old. Yeah.
I asked because I never heard of a fighter from Long Beach.
You heard now.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. That means you got to pay for sparring. Got to get people to drive in there, fly in there.
We do now. We pay for sparring now.
Yeah, over here it's free $99. Go right to top rank, and you can get everybody, man. Tell you.
Nah, you definitely gotta come to Vegas, champ, because
I would love to see him with my boy.
Who? Nah, Sean? Who?
The one that gave your mans all types of trouble. They got a trilogy going on.
A sparring trilogy?
Nah, fighting trilogy. Top rank paying for this shit.
Antoine. So you want Phillips, Jalen Phillips.
I want Jalen Phillips.
Jalen Phillips.
Who's that?
So
he's nobody's. I mean, he might be special. Let me tell you, because he's got that Tevin Farmer, B-Hop start. Like, got 2 losses, 2 wins, 1 draw.
Nah.
But you watching him.
He's been growing through the ranks.
You watching him like, oh, shit, he's getting better.
It's here.
Yeah.
It's here because in the gym, you feel me, he does things to people that he probably
shouldn't be doing to them guys.
Yeah.
But under the lights,
he don't let his hands go enough.
I think it's here.
That's the difference with some of these
But
fighters.
that's why he's good sparring, though.
Yeah.
That's why he's good sparring. He lets his hands go and sparring. It's under them lights that he might be a little bit hesitant, and that's why he keep ending up in these draws. Man, I was about to say, yo, look at Sticky Fingers. No, he don't know. He too old. You know him.
Yeah,
this guy too old, man.
You mean too young?
I mean too young. I got another one from Houston. It said, to any blue chip prospects out there who may be looking to turn pro, can you share with them why trusting Jake and signing the most valuable promotions is the best move they can make?
I feel like you just got to go. I mean, some people, just Jake is not for them. But I feel like for me and what my dreams and goals were headed towards, I think that was for me. So I feel like you just got to, look into more of the companies of who you are willing to sign with and what they're doing for their fighters. Like, I feel like I think Top Rank gives their fighters a lot of fights and but you see like me, I'm kind of taking my time. I think Top Rank probably takes their time too with the fighters, but they're continuously in the ring. But for me, my goals are just to take my time and, just be under the spotlights. I like, big fights. I don't like to just fight over and over competitively again. And I don't know, there's something about, I kind of want to, give it some time to build up the fight a bit. Like if it was like a a mega fight or something.
No, it makes sense.
Definitely understandable.
I wanted to ask, what were some of the things outside of boxing that you look to maybe get your hands on, or maybe some things that Jake's like, okay, we can make some money over here as an investment thing. What are some things that catch your interest outside of the boxing?
It's a lot of things. Like as I like go on and see certain things, like for example, like you said, Jake, when he came out with the better, like that was kind of like inspiring. Like I started wanting to do more stuff with that. Like you probably just have my own.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's one thing Jake talked to him about. Things outside of boxing. Like y'all might see Jake as a clown and things like that, but he's a good businessman. He sat Ashton down. Ashton, he wants to go into business, so he sat Ashton down, and he told him that he's gonna teach him about venture capital, so on and so forth. But Jake is a real good businessman behind the lights and cameras and all of that. When we go to his house, that's all he's doing. He's sitting at the table, researching, working. Like he does what he does for the camera, but this guy's a smart guy. He might be 24. I don't even know how old he is, but he might be like 24, 25 years old. But he's a smart businessman.
That's what's up. I mean, look, you ain't gonna get any complaints from me. I'm on record, bro. Eddie Hearn owes me a percentage. We covered the KSI versus Jake Paul Logan Paul when it was YouTube. Mm-hmm. Then I interviewed Eddie, and I'm like, bro, did you see what these guys did? 1.5 for $10. He's like, nah, I'm not getting into that. Next year signs fucking Jake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that whole YouTube thing blew up. But I believe in him.
And a lot of people tried doing it. Nobody could do it like Jake.
No.
And I believe in him, and I throw around savior of boxing because when you have that sort of platform, it's like I said, he could put heat on BoxRec, and they will fucking change that.
Oh, yeah.
They're not going to want what he's doing to Dana to be done to them every day. Dana is his own, entity himself. He has a platform himself, but BoxRec can't go anywhere and defend themselves. All they have is their Twitter, and it's not going to be good for them. So, like, yeah, man, I think that Jake is great for the sport. Look what he did for Amanda Serrano. He continues to get her opportunities, too. Like, she's eventually going to get a Kaylee Teller, fight in Ireland for retirement money.
Right.
He's doing his thing. And look, we go in deeper. He gave Regis a shot. Now Regis got signed to Probellum. He gave
Montana Love.
Montana got signed to DAZN. So, the dude's good for the sport. My man Steve Cunningham, he gave him an opportunity versus one of those MMA dudes. Plus brought him in for sparring.
The Hassan Rahman fight ain't happened, but still paid the fighters.
And look at him now.
Got his account unlocked, got him verified. Now my man got this fight because of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just live the other day. That shit had 53,000. I'm like, you just lost. He literally just got knocked out. Went live in the arena. Like, yo, they still love me. Bunch of people behind him. His video got 53,000 views. It's like, bro, how?
Thank you, Jake Paul.
Thank you, Jake Paul. So I believe in Jake, man. I think he could get it done. And again, with that platform, people are a little bit more, careful about what they say and don't say. Look at the WBA. They about to rank his ass. They about to rank him.
What you talking about?
They invited him to the WBA.
Oh, yeah.
He coming out of there on Sunday with a ranking.
Right.
He going to be ranked. So, you guys did a good decision, in my opinion. I'm nobody, but outside looking in, I'm happy that you chose him. I think he could, get things done with multiple networks because they all want him.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying it's the big money move, but I'm going to throw an idea out there just because of the opportunity, right? Champ, you got to get on the runway. One of these stores in this beautiful win. They got, so many beautiful design. Get on somebody's runway. I'm telling you, I think the fashion.
No, that's some.
See, because people talk about the pay and they talk about this, but they're not able to holding the interview. They're not able to sell themselves. Bro, they gotta be able to cross over.
Yeah, Ryan does that, man. He was just exchanging left hooks with Sugar Ray, and it wasn't even on his page. It was Sugar Ray like, yeah, I'm chilling with my boy Ryan. I'm like, what? Like, nah, you gotta whip it. I'm like, what?
Yeah, but speaking of fashion and things like that, modeling and acting, that's some of the things that
that I've been wanting to do. That's some I think Roger, when I first went to Floyd's gym, Roger told me that I should start doing.
Yo, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I think not everybody, right? You gotta be somebody, but yo, that WWE crossover.
Yes,
Right.
that's good.
Floyd
too.
was the first boxer to do it.
Yo,
Yeah.
I don't know that that's true.
Who was the first boxer? Mike Tyson? Did
I don't know that Mike was. I don't think Mike was in there.
No,
I think he's confusing Muhammad Ali, who did some wrestling, but it wasn't WWF.
Yeah, and it was like an
like a Japanese dude, right?
Yeah, it was.
Mike was in there with Stone Cold. I remember.
Yeah, Mike
but
did
that can't be before. Stone Cold wasn't before Andre the Giant.
No. I'm talking about the Big Show and Floyd. That was like
Yeah, that's right. It was Big Show, not Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant.
Yeah. Tyson did do it. Had the all black shirt.
Yeah, the all black. Yeah.
I mean, listen. At least you know you got a better chance to get in WWE than any other fighter because Jake's brother is Logan, who got to deal with WWE.
Yo, and let me tell you, bro, the WrestleMania they're doing like 2 days, 100,000 people. Back-to-back days.
It's crazy.
But that's nothing. If you're going to ask for a WWE favor, they got over 98 million subscribers on their YouTube channel. That's insane.
Bro,
that's crazy.
Their fan base is different.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all know this scripted,
No,
right?
my grown friend was just arguing on Facebook talking about, yo, me and my son finally had our first argument. He was arguing that Roman Reigns beats some other dude I never heard of. And I'm like, bro, you're like 40 years old. What are you talking about?
Hey, that's the dude just fought Logan.
Yeah.
I
guess.
He beat Logan.
Don't they say you look like Roman Reigns or something like that?
Nah. The Strowman dude. I used to be very fat.
Strowman.
Yeah.
I've lost like 70 pounds. So the Strowman dude.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah. I used to get those comparisons. But yeah, that WWE crossover, that fashion crossover. That's what these people need, man, because it's like they want the Floyd money, but why your ass can't get Bieber and Lil Wayne like Floyd did?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It's
right.
like, bro, I remember seeing a Floyd fight where Floyd in the back warming up, and this was like his Showtime days. So towards the end of his career, when he'd already made hand over fist, Justin Bieber back there.
Yeah, I remember that.
How many followers you got? Oh, yeah? Yeah, post the pay-per-view. He had like double whatever Floyd had more. Yo.
Yeah, but that wasn't the only ones. Remember, Justin even came out in some of those all access.
No,
like, he was
for
hanging
sure.
with Justin.
For sure, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, Floyd was making all them millions, but, bro, he did what he had to do to be
cross over.
To cross over.
Absolutely.
Floyd is a marketing genius. He's another marketing
Plus his
genius.
relationship with 50, you know, it ended up sour, but, you know, that 50 is he always was a poster. Like, he loved to be on social media, so 50, you know, that was good for him. Then 50 entered boxing. But, yeah, do you have anything else for Ashton so we can go ahead and take this pick?
That's about it for me, champ.
Champ, give out your social media for anybody who isn't following you can do so.
You can follow me on all platforms at Ashton Silv H12.
And Pops, any social media or you in the cut?
I'm in the cut.
He in the cut. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up, guys. And we'll catch you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 a.m. Eastern, and we'll take this picture.
So thank you for having me, too.
Thank you.
Thank you, champ. Most people aren't early.
Who's up in here late?